You may be in that age group of 23 to 40 and you're in the workforce, you're working hard, you're wondering, why does my body feel like it's breaking down to this degree already? This is one of the things that I hear often as a chiropractor, and I'm sure your chiropractor experiences this a lot. People don't really think about it. Why does my neck start hurting? Why is my back hurting? Why do I have fatigue? Why do I have headaches? Why am I having sinus problems? And we don't think about what a role the workforce and what we do day to day has to do on it, especially posture. So, our moms always said, sit up straight, sit up straight, sit up straight. That was really good advice. And now that we're all working on the internet, we're not necessarily sitting up as straight as we should be. At least most of us aren't. So there's some things that you can do. I'll give you some tips as far as common sense, things you can do to take care of that besides getting adjusted in the chiropractic office. So I see this all the time. People will come in, I'll see them sitting in the front office, and maybe they're sitting with their iPhone or something, and they're hunched forward like this, and they're texting away. I tell them, you better be texting something nice about your chiropractor. They're sitting leaned forward, and then they come in the room, we talk about what's going on. They say, oh, my neck is hurting, my shoulders are hurting. And I say, well, I saw you sitting there and your posture's horrible. And it's amazing how even just saying that, people will go from this bent over, terrible posture, and they start to sit up straight, just like almost magically. They'll sit up straight. And that's important to understand, because the potential to have good posture is there. You just have to take the initiative to start doing so and paying attention to it. Maybe you can find somebody in your workplace. Look around your workplace when you're in the workplace. Look and see how other people are sitting, how if they're maintaining good posture and things of that nature. Chances are somebody said something to you about your posture, or you're already aware of it. People will tell me all the time, I don't sit up straight. I need to work on this. So chiropractors make great coaches for posture. Besides giving you your adjustments and other needs that they can take care of, you want to talk to them about maintaining good posture throughout the day, throughout your work week. People use all kinds of electronics. We're not only on our mobile devices all day. We're using mobile devices in the car. We're using laptops. We're using desktops, things of that nature. Real common for me is I'll ask people, what are you on the most? Are you a laptop user or are you a desktop user? If you are a desktop user, are you using a single monitor or are you using a double monitor? Might not seem important to you as an individual, but it is important when we're assessing somebody's posture, somebody that's working on the computer all day. Let's take, for example, if you have people that are internet marketers, or they work doing data entry all day, or they're in the sales force and they're working on a laptop, and they're on the go, they're traveling a lot, they're in hotels, they're in planes and things like that, and they're working on their laptop. That posture tends to be hunched forward, arms together, really tight. Not good for the neck, not good for shoulders, not good for elbows, not good for wrists, not good for your eyes, there's an eye strain, things like that. And then associated with that, I'll have people tell me they're having sinus problems, they're having headaches, and they're having fatigue. So what we want to do is work on that, change those postures. We want to get people away from sitting hunched over on their laptop. Would love to have people sit maybe in a position where they're propped back and they can sit straighter with their laptop. Maybe not hands all day. If you're not having to do data entry at the time, you don't need to be armed and ready on the laptop. Try to let your arms relax. Relax, look at the information. Maybe you can use one hand and you can scroll, use the other hand, things of that nature. Voice dictation is also terrific. If you have the time and you can, do some voice dictation on either your laptop or your desktop, I think it's a great solution. It's tough to do when you're traveling. You obviously can't really do it on a plane or things of that nature, but privacy of a hotel room, you can do so. If you are in a hotel, use the pillows. Try to sit up properly. People I see oftentimes in the coffee shop setting, tilted forward on their laptop. We want to get away from that. We want to have good even posture and not be strained forward. For desktop users, similar, but the advantage of a desktop user is they're usually already sitting in hopefully a good office chair. So a good office chair is important. It doesn't have to be a really expensive office chair, but you notice I'm sitting in a chair that doesn't have a back. That's not necessarily the best office chair if you're in the office all day, but I don't sit all day because I'm a chiropractor and I'm adjusting people. In your case, if you're sitting all day, you should have something that has good back support and hopefully has some support for your neck. So you can sit back, either at a 90-degree posture or even a little further than 90 degrees, and you maintain good spinal health and not put too much pressure on your neck, your shoulders, and your back. Single monitor, desktop, terrific. If you can just sit straight, you don't want to have your arms on the keyboard all day. You've got to take breaks and get away from that. If you're using two monitors, same, but the thing I see with two monitors is people have to understand how to display their monitors properly. If you have one monitor here and one monitor here, and say I'm looking at you, and here's one monitor, here's the other monitor, we can look at that pretty good. I can go from the left, I can go to the right. But if we take a monitor here, we didn't maybe have room on the desktop, and we put the second monitor far off to the right, which is not uncommon, I've seen people do this, they sit working on their computer and their head's tilted like that. That's not a good posture. That usually results in a problem related to the neck, can break down in the vertebrae, disc degeneration. I've often seen nerve problems. People will come in telling me their thumb is numb, their forefinger is numb, they're having pain and tingling in their fingers, things of that nature. Very often related to using multiple monitors and just having poor posture. So if you are using two monitors or even three monitors, try to use them balanced in an even fashion. I mentioned working on the keyboard all day. What people forget is that working on the keyboard, working on your computer all day does have risk of injury. So that's something that, again, common sense, we want to pay attention to that. But we've been in the workforce so long now, we start to forget about that. Try this. When you're at home or at work, turn your keyboard over. So I'm turn my keyboard over here. You turn your keyboard over, you look underneath, you'll see this information here. There's some information from whoever made the computer, different things of that nature. But almost every keyboard is going to have a warning on it. This one, for example, says, warning, improper or prolonged keyboard use may result in injury. Improper or prolonged use may result in injury. We forget about that. That was a big thing in the 90s, carpal tunnel syndrome. But now it's kind of one of those things that, we're on our mobile phone, we're on our computer, we're on our laptop, things of that nature. We've forgotten that this could be a problem. So pay attention to that. If you're having problems with your wrists, you should be talking to your chiropractor about that. If you're having problems with the elbows, the same. Shoulder problems, neck problems, sinuses and fatigue and headaches are things that I see that people don't necessarily know in the beginning. It's very common that somebody can say, oh, my neck's hurting, and it's hurting because I work on the computer. That makes sense to a lot of people. But they don't realize the fatigue. So if your head's forward all day and you have that added weight just pulling your neck down, and muscle fatigue and just the breakdown on the body, that's not good for the body. So that's something you should be talking to your chiropractor about. You want to maintain good spinal posture. We want to get pressure off the nerves. We want pressure off the discs. We don't want pressure on the bones of your neck. We don't want pressure on any of the bones of your spine. We want to maintain good spinal posture so you have a healthy spine for a long time. You have people, and talk to your chiropractor about this. We have every age group that gets chiropractic care. And there's people in their 70s and 80s, they're spry, they're doing great. They didn't grow up working on the computer. They might have been out doing manual labor or doing something else. But they're spry and in good shape, many of them. I have many clients that they're seemingly excellent shape. They either golf, they're doing yoga, they're doing Pilates, they're exercising regularly, they're really taking care of themselves. And interestingly enough, it's our internet age group, people in their 20s, people in their 30s, people in their 40s, and we're working 8, 10, 12, 16 hours a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, some of us 7 days a week. Lots of stress, deadlines, things need to get done. This internet age moves so fast. Before you know it, there's a new model out, and there are people that are having to do sales for these models and development for the models and things of that nature. And then those of us that are just having to deal with all this regarding of what we do. So this is stuff we've got to take into consideration. We're going to do this for a long time. We want to be healthy. We want to be fit. Talk to your chiropractor about it. Make sure you're getting adjusted. Make sure you're maintaining good posture and you're doing well, you're being fit, and you live a long and healthy life.